Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Desitv USA. I am Tabinda girl. Let's take a look at the headlines. Chicago man charged with double murder in fatal shooting of Israeli embassy employees. Trump's false claims on South African whites spark controversy, Reuters News. Trump administration revokes Harvard ability to enroll international students. $175 billion Golden Dome satellite defense plan raises fears of space militarization. A small civilian aircraft crashes in San Diego neighborhood, multiple fatalities reported. U.S. State Department addressed deadly shooting of Israeli embassy staffers in Washington. And White House condemned Israeli embassy shooting, vows full investigation. These are headlines. Lead to news detail. Now the top story is here. Elias Rodriguez, 35-year-old man from Chicago, has been formally charged in federal court with 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection with the fatal shooting of 2 employees at the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C. The incident occurred outside the embassy compound late Tuesday evening, prompting an immediate response from federal and local law enforcement. Authorities said Rodriguez opened fire without warning, striking both victims multiple times. The victims, whose identities have not yet been released pending notification of next of kin, were pronounced dead at the scene. Federal prosecutor described the attack as a targeted act of violence, though a motive has not yet been confirmed. Rodriguez was apprehended at the scene and is currently being held without bail. The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security are leading the investigation, with possible international and diplomatic implications under review. Israel and U.S. officials have condemned the attack and expressed condolence to the families of the victim. Security has been heightening at diplomatic missions across the country as a precaution. According to Reuters, Donald Trump made several false claims during an Oval Office meeting with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, including the allegations that South Africa's white minority is being persecuted. Trump's claim white farmers are being targeted and killed and accused the government of seizing land without compensation. Both assertions have been widely debunked. Ramaphosa refuted the claims, emphasizing South Africa's commitment to constitutional land reform and equality. Critics say Trump's remarks echo conspiracy theories and risk stoking racial tension. The meeting drew international scrutiny, with experts warning this misinformation could damage U.S.-South Africa relations and fuel unrest. In a controversial move, President Donald Trump administration have revoked Harvard University's authorizations to enroll international students, forcing current overseas students to transfer or risk losing their legal status. The decision, confirmed by the Department of Homeland Security, cites alleged visa compliance violations, though Harvard officials have strongly denied any wrongdoing. The university has vowed to challenge the ruling in federal court, calling it an unprecedented and unjust attack on academic freedom. Immigration advocates and educational leaders nationwide have condemned the action, warning it could severely damage America's global academic reputation and displace thousands of students amid ongoing political and legal turmoil. Now, the U.S. government has announced the launch of the Golden Dome, a massive $175 billion initiative involving a global network of satellites and orbital weapons designed to enhance national security. Built as a defensive shield against missile threat and cyber attack, the program has sparked international concern over the growing militarizations of space. Critics warn that deploying advanced weapons in Earth's orbit could provoke a new arms race and destabilize global security. While U.S. officials insist the system is purely defensive, several world powers have called for urgent diplomatic talk to prevent outer space from becoming a future battlefield. Now, a small civilian aircraft crashed into a residential neighborhood in San Diego, California, resulting in multiple fatalities, according to the San Diego Police Department. The crash occurred shortly after takeoff, sending thick smoke into the air and ignited several homes. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, where they confirmed at least 3 deaths and several injuries. Authorities have not yet released the identities of the victim. The cause of the crash remain under investigations by the Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board. Local officials have urged residents to avoid the area as recovery and cleanup efforts continue. U.S. State Department spokesperson Tammy Bruce held a press briefing in Washington, D.C. following the fatal shooting of two Israeli embassy staffers. Bruce condemned the attack as a heinous act of violence and pledged full cooperation with Israeli authorities in the ongoing investigation. She confirmed that federal agencies, including the FBI and DHS, are working to determine the motive behind the shooting, allegedly carried out by Elias Rodriguez, a Chicago-born suspect now in custody. Bruce emphasized the U.S. government commitment to the safety of diplomatic personnel and stated that security measures and embassies nationwide have been significantly increased. Viewers, in the end, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt addressed reporters in Washington, D.C. following the fatal shooting of two staffers at the Israeli embassy by a lone gunman. Leavitt called the attack an appalling act of violence against diplomatic personnel and confirmed President Donald Trump had been briefed. The suspect, identified as Elias Rodriguez, is in federal custody and faces 2 counts of first-degree murder. In response, Israeli embassies worldwide have heightening security. Leavitt emphasized the U.S. government's solidarity with Israel and vowed full cooperation in the investigation, while reaffirming America's commitment to the safety of foreign diplomats on its soil. So viewers, thank you for watching and thank you for supporting. This is me, Tabinda, signing off. Stay tuned for more news. DESITv USA, DTVN and our OTT platform DTV Flex, where you can access to over 3,000 channels. So stay tuned and stay with us.
Neurological care is a pressing healthcare challenge in Pakistan. That's why Helping Hand USA is building Kind R, a world-class hospital with 130-plus clinics that is set to establish new standards for neurological care in Pakistan. As the first phase nears completion, anticipation is growing for the launch in the second half of 2025. Give zakat and sadaqah through Helping Hand USA today and join this historic endeavor to redefine future healthcare in Pakistan.